For decades, Made in America was a symbol of strength, of factories roaring, jobs thriving, and the middle class rising. But today, that slogan feels like a ghost of another era. U.S. manufacturing is in trouble again, shrinking for months in a row, facing global competition, rising costs, and new waves of automation. The question now isn't just whether American manufacturing can survive, it's whether innovation can save it. Let's take a closer look at what's really happening inside the engine of America's industrial base. The latest data tells a worrying story. The U.S. Manufacturing Index has been contracting for most of the year. Orders are down, employment is flattening, and factories are running below capacity. Even as the broader economy grows, the manufacturing sector is falling behind, a pattern economists call industrial divergence. So why is this happening? The first big reason is global competition. American manufacturers are up against production powerhouses like China, India, and Mexico, all of which offer cheaper labor, looser regulations, and faster production cycles. Even though the U.S. has introduced tariffs and reshoring incentives, many companies still find it cheaper to produce overseas. The second reason is the cost crisis. Input prices, from raw materials to energy, have surged in recent years. Inflation may be easing, but manufacturers are still paying more for steel, fuel, and transport. At the same time, the Fed's high interest rates are making it more expensive to finance equipment, plants, and expansion projects. Many mid-sized manufacturers are putting their investments on hold because borrowing costs are simply too high. The third challenge: demand. Consumers have shifted from goods to services. After the pandemic, Americans spent heavily on cars, furniture, and electronics. But now, they're spending on travel, entertainment, and dining. That shift has left factories with excess inventory and fewer new orders. Add it all together, and the result is a manufacturing slowdown that's starting to look like a structural problem, not just a short-term dip. But here's where things get interesting. Beneath the bad headlines, a quiet transformation is underway, powered by innovation. Across the country, a new generation of manufacturers is rethinking what it means to make things in America. From advanced robotics to AI-driven production lines, technology is rewriting the rules of industrial efficiency. Take, for example, smart factories. These are facilities where AI systems monitor machines in real time, predict maintenance needs, and optimize output automatically. Instead of relying on human guesswork, factories now rely on data, and that data is saving millions. Downtime is reduced, waste is minimized, and production speed increases. Another breakthrough is in 3D printing, or additive manufacturing. This technology allows companies to design and produce components locally, cutting the need for global supply chains. Aerospace, automotive, and medical device makers are using 3D printing to produce complex parts faster and cheaper than ever before. Then there's robotics. The new generation of industrial robots isn't replacing humans outright, it's working alongside them. Collaborative robots, or cobots, are being deployed in thousands of small and mid-sized factories to handle repetitive or dangerous tasks, freeing up human workers for higher skill roles. And let's not forget clean manufacturing. The Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act and CHIPS Act have unleashed billions in subsidies for green tech, semiconductor fabrication, and electric vehicle supply chains. Companies are building new battery plants in Michigan, solar factories in Georgia, and chip facilities in Arizona and Texas. These aren't just factories, they're ecosystems for innovation. But the problem is scale. For every shiny new AI-powered plant, dozens of older factories are still running on outdated equipment and thin margins. Many small manufacturers can't afford to modernize, and labor shortages are making it worse. Skilled machinists, welders, and engineers are in short supply, and young workers aren't rushing into industrial careers. That's why the next phase of America's manufacturing revival has to be inclusive innovation. It's not enough for Fortune 500 companies to automate. The technology must reach the small and medium firms that make up the bulk of the industry. Some states are starting to lead the way. Ohio and Tennessee are building regional manufacturing innovation hubs that help local businesses adopt robotics, digital twins, and energy-efficient systems. These programs are already showing results: higher productivity, lower emissions, and more resilient supply chains. At the same time, education and training programs are evolving. Community colleges and trade schools are partnering with AI and tech firms to teach digital manufacturing skills, a blend of coding, mechanics, and data analytics. These are the skills that will define the next industrial workforce. Still, the race is on. China isn't slowing down. Europe is ramping up green industry investment. And if the U.S. doesn't scale innovation fast enough, it could lose its manufacturing edge permanently. The good news? America still has its biggest strength: creativity. From startups building next-gen materials to engineers rethinking automation, innovation remains the one area where the U.S. leads the world. The key will be connecting that innovation to production, turning ideas into factories and factories into jobs. So yes, America's manufacturing sector is struggling. Orders are falling, confidence is low, and the headlines look bleak. But under the surface, a new kind of industrial revolution is starting to take shape, quieter, smarter, and more efficient than anything before. The future of Made in America won't look like the past. It won't be smokestacks and assembly lines. It'll be sensors, data streams, and smart machines. The real question isn't whether manufacturing can be saved, it's whether America can reinvent it fast enough to lead the world again. Because in the end, the countries that make are the ones that matter, and innovation might just be the spark that reignites America's industrial fire.